This isn't going to end well, folks. It isn't. It isn't going to end well. And I think we have probably about 2 weeks. And then I think all bets are going to be off the table. I don't think you're going to be able to get much silver. I think that the choices that you make now are going to reverberate going forward. If you live in a major metropolitan area, you got to get out now. You have to. These places are unsustainable when the system's working. We already know that crime and stress and all these other things of all these metropolitan areas, the homelessness, it's going to be a humanitarian crisis because the United States is not handling COVID, right? Whatever that is, it's definitely going to shut down the economy. And it's definitely going to expose the global Ponzi scheme. And it's definitely going to throw a lot more money into the streets. And it's definitely going to cause more toilet paper to go away. And it's definitely going to raise prices all over the place. Can't happen any other way, folks. They can't continue to print money like a junkie and think that that's going to cure the junkie problem. The only cure is silver. Cure for COVID, cure for banksters. Listen, people who think that Trump is going to do it. He's got all the power now, and he's only got a couple months. So either he ends the Fed now, or he's going to do what I think he's going to do. He's going to continue to lower rates, print more money, give more away, bail out everything, and try to pump up that stock market again, because that's where his loyalty is, not to the people here, not to the average person. Stock market money, because that's where all of his boys are. Right? If he really cared, he would have investigated JP Morgan. He would have audited the Fort Knox vault instead of sending Stephen Mnuchin, the Goldman Sachs guy, there to go check on the gold. And he says, well, I guess it's there. That's very confident. No, it's not there, folks. We're going to realize that this country got raped by the banksters. The gold and the silver is gone. And I think the only way that we're going to be able to restart the economy is by transferring our wealth from these digital illusions of wealth, cryptos, just the crypto market alone. If a tenth of it went into physical silver, game over. You think Bitcoin would have saved the world? $51 silver saves the world more than Bitcoin. Because that's just going to be the beginning. $51 silver is going to expose all the fraud, all the people who thought that they had silver, right? The time when they wanted it the most, when the whole world is falling apart, the time that they wanted that silver the most, they're going to realize, oh, I don't have any, because all they did was give me digital illusions of wealth, paper claims on wealth. I want the physical. And people are going to pull out like no tomorrow and never go back. Like, once you've been screwed once like that, once you realize that the banking system is nothing but a bunch of digits, you pull out whatever physical stuff you can. And that's what's going to save people. That's what's going to be the way forward, right? Is getting real about this. And yes, Q is a psychological operation. Here's a cute way of understanding psyops. If there's somebody out there who says that they can save you from the world, it's a psyop, because they can't. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody can. You are the only one. You. That's it. You're the only one coming to save you. You're the only one that's caused your problems, right? So if you're living in a paradigm right now that's not working for you, change your story. Revisit all the things that you once thought were true and figure out, well, maybe it isn't true. Maybe we cannot continue to print money forever. Maybe everybody can't get something for nothing. Nobody's coming to save you. These next 2 weeks, you're going to realize how inept the government is, how inept the banking system is, how inept the corporations are, how inept the religions are, how inept our healthcare system is. I don't see any hope anywhere. So this is why you need to pull your wealth out of the system while you can. Get real about the people around you. Start, thinking about long-term solutions for these people. I know victory gardens are going to be most important in the spring and summer going into fall. And I think that people who have silver will have opportunities to create new wealth, new jobs, new things, all the other places out there, because there will be nobody else to do anything. So we're still chugging along. We're still doing what we can do. And I know a lot of silver dealers sold out of their product, are now scrambling to try to find more silver, and they're going to have to pay higher premiums, and it's going to keep getting passed on. We've reached a point now where people are freaking out. I mean, you have the average person now going, oh, I remember somebody saying something about silver coins before. I really would like to have some tangible wealth because everything out there seems like it's a digital illusion that I have no control. Trillions of dollars are being printed out of nowhere. We have no idea what these things are going on. Where else can I go, right? It's going to be silver, and it's going to be the biggest transfer of wealth ever. You think Bitcoin did great? Silver and a new paradigm relative to all the other assets out there, quadrillions of dollars, trillions of dollars, billions of dollars in this teeny tiny silver market because it's been manipulated for 140 years. It's as cheap as it's ever been, folks. Silver relative to gold throughout all time in history has never been this. It's the trade of the century. Not only is it the trade of the century, it's at the most important crux of humanity, right? Trade of the century, most manipulated. They spend $5 trillion a year to control a 15 billion annually mined silver production. 25% of the silver production is going offline, just as trillions upon trillions of dollars about to unleash onto this economy, essentially causing jet fuel to a meth head.
I am so glad we did this.
I can't believe.
And people are complaining about premiums. Folks, this is about getting ounces. This is about getting wealth from digital illusions into anything tangible. Silver just happens to be the best place. Silver's a buy to me all the way up until $1,000 an ounce. Because according to USADebtClock.org, I'm still losing out at $1,000 an ounce because the Fed's printing $2,000 an ounce. And what about China? What about the EU? What about India? What about the Middle East? All that oil money, right? Just printing money out of thin air, folks. So we have very little time left. And I think once we hit 50, I don't know what else I'm going to be able to say. That's maybe when I shut up. But I'm still here pounding the table. I'm still telling people this is the way to go, right? Nobody else has out there been pounding the table for 10 years about this, folks. Look at my video, the 3 coming false flags. COVID fits it all perfectly. Banksters knew that they created a generational Ponzi scheme. They knew that they couldn't take blame for it. So what do? We create military false flags. I don't know, kill an Iranian general. They'll create economic false flags. Oh, I don't know, blame China for this, the economic collapse of the world. Could be a bio weapon, could be 5G. I don't know. There's lots that we don't know. What I do know is that because of this, never let a good crisis go to waste. We're watching more government intervention, more government spending, more debt, more death. That's all the banksters can ever offer. The solution is, folks, pull your money out of the system, get into physical silver, and be the change that you want to see in the world today. And don't be in a rush to sell when it gets to 50, 100, or 1,000. I keep telling you this Venezuela story where the Venezuelan bolivar was only 7 bolivars to $1. So 1 ounce of silver back in 2010 might have cost, 80 bolivars. And now it's 3 million. That's the power of 1 ounce of silver, folks, right? It's not that the silver goes up in value. It's the destruction of all the currency chasing after the very few goods out there. So when the currency, the dollar, is full on rejected by the world, and that the Fed is the spender of last resort and the government is the lender of last resort, or what, the other way around, that's where we're going to get hyperinflation. Alan Greenspan says, we can guarantee any amount of money you want. There's no limit to legal financing. That's what they call it, legal financing. To me, it's legal theft. If you print $6 trillion out of nowhere, you've destroyed the value of all of our money. That's theft, folks. And then who gets that money? Insiders and bailouts and this and that. And is it really effectively used? No. So I think that's all I need to say for today. It isn't going to end well. And I think we have probably about 2 weeks. And then I think all bets are going to be off the table. I think that the choices that you make now are going to reverberate going forward.